Well, let's get to this real quick. A fantastic game for your Baltimore Ravens. We'll touch on this briefly. Obviously, it looked like the Vikings were going to pull off a big upset against the Ravens, and it just kind of blended in well with this weekend. Ravens end up going into overtime with the Vikings 34-31, and this is a Vikings team that has been pretty resilient all year. They got blown out for 34-20 against the Washington football team, but other than that, they've been in one-score games every week of the season. So the Ravens, I was fully expecting this to be a close game simply because the Vikings play that way. Ravens get the job done in overtime. Are the Ravens the number one team in the AFC right now?
Yeah, I mean, not to be biased, I still think the Ravens are definitely one of the top teams in the AFC right now. I'm not going to say they're the best team. Considering the fact that we still can't get away with the injury bug. We just lost to Sean Elliott now for the rest of the season, who is for a strong safety. So now what I got to do with the issues right there, as we've already had. But Lamar Jackson just keeps doing Lamar Jackson things to stay in the game. But I mean, Minnesota is one of the best teams. I still think I want to say the best team, but they find ways to stay in games. Their problem was they just can't finish games. But the Rams have certainly proved during the year if they can do that. And you just got to find a way to stop Lamar, stop the running game right now, putting up 247 yards on the ground. Lamar Jackson just keeps breaking records. Marquise Brown had a great game, 116 yards. And so I think the biggest key is you just got to stop Lamar Jackson. If you can't stop Lamar Jackson, then I think the rest of the NFL is in danger right now.
Yeah, I think here's the thing for me is the Chiefs a few years ago, I think, kind of spoiled the NFL as like being a dominant team. You have to blow teams out left and right. And that's going to happen a few weeks at a time. But ultimately, it's the NFL. And these are grown men getting paid millions of dollars that are all very similar in talent. And there's a few pieces here and there that, are the difference maker for a lot of teams. And obviously, Lamar Jackson is a huge difference maker for the Baltimore Ravens. But I think it's okay to win a game by 3 points or 6 points. Obviously, for the Bills, it's not okay to lose to the Jags by 3 points or the Cowboys to lose to the Broncos by 14 points. But to win a game against a team that's proven that they can compete, they competed against the Cowboys, they've competed in the past against other good teams. I think it's perfectly fine for the Ravens to win how they did, especially considering the fact with what Lamar Jackson is working with. He has very little talent surrounding him as far as the starters from preseason and training camp, and he's still finding a way to get it done. And for that reason, that's why I kind of lean towards Lamar Jackson as being MVP, at least right now, just because of what he's been capable of doing with so much less than other teams are. The Chiefs are struggling right now in Kansas City, and they have Tyreek Hill, and Edwards-Helaire will be back eventually, but they still have Travis Kelce. The Ravens, they have every excuse to be a 500 team right now, but they're 6-2, so pretty impressive for them. Anything else from you for Week 9? What more you got?
Uh, Bro, can we talk about last night? The
Yeah, let's just
Bears
talk about last
Steelers,
night.
dude. Obviously, I'm not a Steelers fan for obvious reasons, but I went to bed in the third quarter. I know, kind of expecting Pittsburgh to do its thing. I wake up, I see the Bears are starting to come back. They pull within. I think they're up by 1, and then they get a sack for fourth down, and I think everybody else knows what we're talking about. If you don't know, guy for the Bears, I forget his name, got a sack. Then he looked
Cassius
over,
Marsh is the name.
Cassius
Cassius
Marsh,
Marsh.
and looked over to the Steelers bench, did nothing, just stared, and then turns around and then hits the official, and then the official throws a flag. But y'all know what happened. He looks like he leans in and then throws the elbow. Oh, nope, there's a flag. We got to give Big Ben. We got to protect him. We got to let him win the game. That's
Yeah, I mean, it was the ultimate way the Steelers get treated. Like, they always seem to get the benefit of the doubt. And obviously against the Bears in Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, like it seemed the entire game, all the calls were going against the Bears. And the Bears, honestly, they still found a way to keep it close. They still found a way to take the lead. Justin Fields, what I feel bad about is Justin Fields had a great game. He led he led them on the game leading drive with about 1:30 left in the game, or 2 minutes left in the game. He played great, and it's all getting overshadowed by these officials just overstepping their power and trying to over officiate the game. Like, there's nothing wrong with just two teams playing and battling it out and just competing. And the referees did everything in their power to obviously give the Steelers chance after chance after chance, and the Steelers ended up coming out on top. I'm a little annoyed by it, honestly. I think the NFL should be a better product than that. We shouldn't be in a situation where these grown men have to deal with, oh, they taunted me or whatever the case is. Just a little bit annoying. So hopefully, we'll see what happens from here. The Steelers have a tough schedule ahead. They get the Lions next week, but then they have Chargers, Bengals, Ravens, Vikings, Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens. I mean, those are all likely going to be playoff teams, minus the Vikings, obviously. They have a tough road ahead. So that AFC North division looks like it's probably the Ravens right now, potentially the Browns if they can turn it up and at least compete without OBJ now. So wild ending there. Let's talk about this. No Henry, no problem, dude. The Titans go into LA and just honestly dismantle the Rams 28-16, but it wasn't even that close. Matthew Stafford had zero competence in the pocket, and the Titans just completely dominated the game. It was one of the most surprising outcomes of a game this week.
Yeah, no, you pretty much said it. I think my question to you from this game, obviously you said no Henry, no problem, but defense stepped up in a huge way. Is this? I know a lot of people have said that the Titans defense is not that great, but did the Titans actually just show what kind of defense they're capable of?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a team that's defense has not played well. They were expected to kind of be a middle of the road team. They've been playing at that or worse this entire season. And they've been the type of team that's just leaned on Derrick Henry week after week after week to just milk the clock and pound the rock. And I think it's almost again like the whole OBJ thing, a little bit of addition by subtraction. The Titans lost Derrick Henry. Everyone else on the team woke up. AJ Brown woke up. The defense woke up. The defense knew, okay, we don't have our superstar guy here anymore. We're going to have to step up and be a team that, people have to be afraid of. We're not going to outscore everyone anymore. We got to go in there and make some stops. I don't know. I don't think that the Titans can repeat that performance week after week because I do think they lack some depth here and there. But ultimately, I think the Titans defense almost reverse of the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I think, exposed themselves in a very negative way. I think the Titans expose themselves in a very positive way, and I think the rest of the league has to be aware of what the Titans defense is capable of, especially against Matthew Stafford, Darrell Henderson, Sony Michel, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, like all these guys, Brandon Cooks even, like come on, or Robert Woods, excuse me, sorry. That's a good offense. That's one of the best offenses in the league, and the Titans put them in a chokehold and won that game. So
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy about looking at the rest of their schedule. Without Derrick Henry, they can still potentially win the rest of their games they wanted to. You got the Saints coming up, then you got the Texans. They go on the road to New England, then they're at home against the Jaguars. Have to go to Pittsburgh. Then they got the Niners, the Dolphins, and then the Texans to round out the season. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Two last topics I want to hit on real quick. The Chiefs are just weird right now. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know if it's because we've had 3 years of watching them just dominate and look good, but weird is the only word I can describe the Chiefs with right now. They get the win over the Packers 13-7, but none of it was convincing. Like absolutely nothing they've done in the last 4 weeks has been convincing to me. The Chiefs are weird.
No, they absolutely are. I don't know what goes on right now uh in their team meetings or whatnot, what goes on in the play calling, but yet something's off, man. Something's off about that offense. I don't know what, like I said last week, I don't know if it's Mahomes having finger issues or if he's just having issues. Just I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the issue is. It's weird. It's that weird. We can't figure out the issue.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, I still want to believe they'll figure it out and get it together. But right now, if the playoffs started today, they would not make the playoffs. Like the
Nope.
Patriots would be the 7th seed and the Chiefs would be the 8th seed, and the Chiefs would not be in the playoff picture right now, which is just absurd to me. Hopefully they put it together. They get Edwards-Helaire back this week or next week, whatever it is. But it's just a weird situation for Mahomes. I don't know how much his family has to do with it, but just interesting shit going down in Kansas City.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's the curse of Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah. Get
Stop.
Jackson Mahomes
Get
out
him
of
off
here.
TikTok. Get him away from all the NFL stadiums. Did he do any more TikToks this week? As much as I probably don't want to know,
I
but
don't
I don't
know,
know what
man. I don't know.
I don't keep up, but I don't know what the word is out right now.
Him and Patrick's wife. They just TikTok left and right all over the place.
Oh my gosh!
While
Like you
Patrick
could
just pulls in 500 million bucks.
Exactly. And Patrick looks like he's enjoying himself in those TikToks.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Sitting at the restaurant, like, what the fuck is going
He's
on?
looking up like, oh God, this again.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
crazy.
It's crazy. All right, what else we got? We got Cardinals, Niners. Is that the last one we want to talk
Yeah, we'll hit
about?
Cardinals Niners. There was a few other games, but these are pretty much the most interesting ones right now.
Yeah. I guess I do want to kind of look at that one real quick. Cardinals pull off a 31-17 win without Kyler Murray and without DeAndre Hopkins. Uh, James Conner stepped up in a huge way. They lost Chase Edmonds in the first offensive snap. So the Cardinals lose their three main starters on offense. Um, are the Cardinals that scary now without having them?
The real McCoy, dude, or whatever it is, Colt
The real
McCoy.
Colt McCoy.
Dude, it's crazy. One, I don't even know how he's still in the league. Like, I feel like he's kind of like the Brady Quinn era or like the Greg McElroy era. I don't know how he's still in the league. I guess same thing with like Chad Henne and Blaine Gabbert, but I mean, he stepped in and he stepped up. Like, it it didn't even they didn't even miss a beat. And obviously the 49ers are not world beaters. I think a lot of people were hyped on the 49ers coming off that win 2 weeks ago. Jimmy Garoppolo looked a lot better, but I think this game proves to everyone in the NFL world that not only are the Cardinals good, but the Cardinals are great. And Colt McCoy being able to step up, the receiving core without DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and AJ Brown, and all those guys. Who else do they have? Rondell Moore, I think it is. Like, they just have guys left and right. And now obviously Zach
Yep.
Ertz, and then
Yep.
James Conner looking like 2018, 2019 James Conner, leading the NFL in touchdowns right now. Who would have thought a backup or started the season as a backup for the Cardinals, leading the NFL in touchdowns? This is a very, very scary team, especially after seeing what happened to the Rams on Sunday night against the Titans. I think the Cardinals, they're a team to look out for.
Yep, undefeated on the road. They're 5-0 right now. Niners just can't figure it out at home, man. They haven't had that spark the last 2 years. Maybe it's time for Trey Lance to step up once he's back from injury. But I don't know. I just don't know. I can't see anything going for the Niners the rest of the season, man. I just don't. I think, but you got to give credit to the Cardinals. They're just that good. A huge bounce back after the Packers game.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. And obviously, we talked Chiefs Packers, but Aaron Rodgers is just a mess right now. His whole situation. I'm curious to see how the NFL comes down on him. He's kind of like one of those poster boys of the NFL, so I don't know what the punishment's going to be, but that's something to keep an eye on. We'll get into that. We'll have a few more videos coming up this week, looking ahead to week 10. A lot of good games coming up, and when you get to double-digit weeks, that's when games really start to matter. You start to feel the pressure. You're getting into November. It's daylight savings time. The winds are changing all over the country, and games are about to get interesting. So we'll get into that in a few videos later on this week. Anything else from you, Matt?
Nope, we just pretty much said it, man. There's a wild NFL week halfway through the season now. Now let's keep it rolling.
Let's
Let's
keep
make
it.
this world go crazy.
Yeah, let's just more chaos, dude. More chaos. I want the Jets to beat the Bills this week. I want the Jags to beat the. I want every team with like one win to win. I want the Lions to beat the Steelers this week. That would be amazing.
I
But
would love
it's going to
that.
be a crazy ending to this NFL season. I can already tell.